Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have another review video where we're going to be diving into some LinkedIn connection request messages. I'm not going to be actually alone doing this one. We are going to be joined by the one and only Dominic Yates, the CMO at Sales Hookup, which is an online networking platform for salespeople to share their insights, their ideas, and chat. So thank you so much for being here, Dominic. It's great to have you.
Thank you for having me, Josh.
Let's go ahead and get into our first connection request.
Let's do it.
Honestly, I like this one in the sense that right away it caught my eye, the fact that there was a screenshot attached in the connection request. So it starts off, I visited your YouTube channel, which is already showing a little bit of personalization. It's showing that they're actually doing their little bit of due diligence. I think that it's nice that this person is trying to compliment me. But in general, it's kind of like, I can bring you millions and millions of views, watch time, and subscriber, your target location. I think that there's a little bit of grammar issues in this, not just that, but I think that also as well, it's that question that I have in my mind. How? Like, if you were able to say, like, not just I can bring you millions and millions of views, but saying through the help of this, and that, I could give you some more views. Would you be interested in chatting? There's no call to action in this. That's something else that stood out to me right away.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I think the image definitely adds a bit of personalization. And from the hundreds of LinkedIn messages I've received, you don't often receive images about your platform or your video or your content. So it's definitely personalized. You can't do that to scale because obviously it's your channel. But the first thing for me is, the grammar. You can obviously tell that this isn't a native English speaker because they say sir. Maybe that's being polite, but then he said, I visit your channel, should say visited. So my first tip would be for people that second language is English, just download Grammarly, and right off the bat, it will check for you some common errors because obviously that's the first impression. That's the first note that I would say. And then the second thing, he just makes it very generalized. I'm going to bring you millions and millions of views, but he doesn't say how, and he also doesn't say about any challenges you have. So on your channel, maybe he should mention, the video is great, but you've got very few views. I can help with that, so make it more specific. I think that would help.
I would give this one, I think, maybe a 5, because I think there is a lot of ways that you could improve it. But I do think that there is a good base foundation on how, like, for example, my attention was got. I was looking and I was reading and I was curious, but I didn't really know what to do with it besides that. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I'd agree. I think it's about a 4 or a 5, maybe a 5. I think the great thing is it's a pattern interrupt. So like a lot of messages are always the same. With this image, it really stands out. It'll catch your eye. But I think he needs to tie his research a bit more to your problems or challenges that he can see from your page, which would take like another 30 seconds of research. And I think that would improve it up to like a 7 or an 8.
All right, moving on.
So this one, it was actually the first message that he sent me. But it appears like we've been friends for years. But for me, that's the issue. It's like he's over personalizing, but I feel like he's being fake because number one, there's 2 links in the message. I didn't ask for any links. So the first thing is he's spamming me with links. The second thing is it's too long. It's like 3 paragraphs. And the third thing is that he capitalizes my gift to you. So instantly I think that he's trying to sell me something. But then he's trying to be personalized, like that he knows me. So he says like, let me know how I can support you in achieving your goals. And then he repeats that at the end. He says, let me know how I can support you. So too much fluff, too many links, salesy, but trying to be friendly. So that's my first impressions.
Yeah, you pretty much got all the things that I was going to say. Overall, I think that it's too long as well. I would recommend making this a little bit shorter. In this case, I would say that instead of sending like a video link, I would send a loom. But I would give this one probably a 4. What about you? What do you think?
I was thinking 3 or 4. He did actually send it me on the 1st of January. So you could say there's context because what he's actually like promoting is his goal analyzer. So at the 1st of Jan, it's actually quite a good time to reach out. But I think he just needs to take a different approach, a more friendly approach, like Happy New Year. This is a time when people start sabotaging their goals. I made this tool. I've shared it with my friends. They really like it. Maybe you like it too. Want to check it out? So no links, just like a soft CTA. And it's obviously useful because it's the start of the year and it's to analyze your goals. So as a gift, I'd be happy to accept that, but he just needs to word it in a different way.
I agree. Well, I think we can move on to the next one.
I thought it was very short, punchy. If I saw that, I would accept. And yeah, the only small tweak that I would make is that he says, or she, because it's Ali, I think it's a she, really love your perspective on it, I'll repeat that. So Ali says, just saw the recording of your webinar, really loved your perspective on it. Looking forward to learning more. So I would be a bit more specific and said, love your perspective on X. Then it's like really tailored towards your actual webinar. But that's just a small tweak. And maybe they're using this with other content creators as like a template. So therefore they're doing more quantity over quality. But if you're focusing more on the quality, I just go that extra mile and add a bit more personalization.
Yeah. This one actually I love a lot because I think that it's very genuine. It's just very simple. I'm not getting the vibe of this person wants something from me. They're truly doing what people on LinkedIn originally were set up to do, and that's just be connections, and that's just be connected. And so this connection request in itself, to me, it's very old school in a very good way. What would you rank this one?
I'd say a 7. I like it. It's got good context. It's short, and there's no call to action, no links. It's just, nice.
Yeah, I think that if this is genuinely a connection request just because you want to be connected, I would say this one's probably an 8 or a 9. If you're trying to get your foot in the door and at least like hint at something, I wouldn't say that there was enough information, or like you had mentioned a call to action. I would give this one like a 6 or a 7. But overall, I think that this was a very good, genuine connection request. And I mean, I accepted it because it shows that this person is sincerely interested in just being connected, which is what LinkedIn was originally made for. So
yeah, I gave that 7 because I thought maybe there was a hidden agenda behind it. But I don't know, have they followed up with you since this?
They didn't. Yeah. So it's just one of those little genuine connection requests. It's like, hey, let's just stay in touch.
Okay, so they were genuine. So yeah, I'd probably change mine to an 8 then.
Yeah, there you go. We got a winner. Ding, ding. All right. So this one's very poetic. The first thing that stands out to me, they say LinkedIn is a jungle, and in navigating its winding paths, I stumbled upon your profile. I would say, honestly, that either this person does a lot of reading or they use something like ChatGPT.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, AI, write me a metaphor for how I can connect with this person.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I wouldn't say it's bad necessarily, even if it's ChatGPT. I'm not a huge fan of the poeticism, if that's how you would say that correctly. I think that it does stand out, and that's kudos to that. But if this person started writing me completely different from this original language and tone, it would kind of come off very interesting to me. And then right away I would understand, okay, this person just used ChatGPT, which isn't a bad thing. ChatGPT can be used well. But in a sense, I believe that with LinkedIn, if you're trying to connect with someone and you're not making any kind of changes to your ChatGPT connection requests, it really doesn't show that you're doing a lot of work to actually build a really good connection with somebody. So if you need to use ChatGPT or you want to, sure, but maybe at least make it a little bit more realistic and maybe not as winding paths that I'm seeing here. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, the first thing is, I think it's quite unique and quite quirky, which I like. So it stands out from the rest, like, hey, saw your post about X, want to connect. It has a bit of a story. But the only thing is like, they say that you should write to like a 5th grade reading level. So when I see like your work outshone the dense foliage of the industry sector, it makes me instantly switch off. So first, I would just tone it down a little bit. Like, was scrolling the feed and came across X and was impressed by Y, rather than navigating its winding paths. But then on the flip side, everyone's doing that, so maybe it's good to try something different and stand out. But yeah, I think just take out some of these more poetic words, but keep the metaphor, maybe.
So I think I'll give this one like a 6, maybe a 5. But I think that this one definitely should be tweaked.
Yeah, I would probably give it a 5, just because of the elaborate language. I liked the story, so that's why I'm not giving it a lower mark. But yeah, I think it needs some work.
Would you accept it? That's the big question.
I would probably look at their profile first and see if they were relevant, and then I would maybe accept it. I'm not saying no, but it would make me go to their profile and actually check who they are, because from this I don't understand who they are. They sound poetic, but maybe they're just an account executive in the SaaS industry.
Well, overall, we reviewed quite a few different connection requests. Some of them I would say were pretty good. And then some of them I would say don't ever try that again. You won't get any responses. You probably won't get an actual accepted connection request. That's it for our video for today. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next one.
Thanks.